What if I told you there's a chess opening that looks calm but hides the power to crush your opponent before they even know what's happening? It's been played for over 400 years, from smoky coffee houses to modern world championship matches. Today, we're exploring the main line of the Italian game, the Giuoco Piano, and you'll learn not just the moves, but also what to do if your opponent tries something different along the way. The Giuoco Piano, which means quiet game in Italian, is one of the oldest recorded chess openings. It was popularized by Italian masters like Gioachino Greco and is still used by modern champions like Magnus Carlsen. Don't let the name fool you. Quiet doesn't mean boring. This opening can switch from slow maneuvering to sudden, sharp attacks in an instant. We start with pawn to e4, taking control of the center and freeing our bishop and queen. Black replies with pawn to e5, doing the same thing. Next, knight to f3, developing and attacking the pawn on e5. Black defends with knight to c6, also controlling the center. Bishop to c4, the famous Italian bishop move. This eyes the weak f7 square, which is only defended by the black king. Now, if black plays knight to f6 here, that's the two knights defense much sharper, and it can lead to the fried liver attack if white jumps with knight to g5. If they play bishop to e7, that's the Hungarian defense, a slower and more defensive setup. But in our main line, black plays bishop to c5, mirroring our development. We play pawn to c3, preparing pawn to d4 to challenge the center, and making sure black can't hop a knight into d4. Black plays knight to f6, attacking our pawn on e4. If instead they tried queen to f6 here, they'd attack f2. But bringing the queen out this early is risky. We could defend easily and then chase it around. We defend with pawn to d3, keeping a solid pawn chain. If we pushed pawn to d4 immediately, black could trade and check us with bishop to b4, gaining time. Black matches us with pawn to d6, solid and symmetrical. Castle kingside safety first. Black castles as well. Rook to e1, lining up with the king on e8 and supporting our eventual pawn push to e5. Black plays pawn to a6, stopping our pieces from coming to b5 and getting ready to push pawn to b5. If they tried knight to g4 here to pressure f2, we could defend calmly with rook to e2, pawn to b4, hitting their bishop and gaining queenside space. Black retreats to bishop to a7, keeping the bishop active and still pointing toward f2. Knight to d2, we're getting ready for the classic reroute. Knight to f1, then g3 or e3, aiming for strong central and kingside control. Black pushes pawn to b5, chasing our bishop and grabbing space. Bishop to b3, still aiming at f7. Black jumps in with knight to g4, threatening our pawn on f2. Rook to e2, defending f2 and preparing to double rooks if needed. Black now pushes pawn to a5, expanding on the queen side. Pawn to h3, hitting their knight. Black sacrifices with knight takes pawn on f2. We respond rook takes knight on f2, removing the threat. Black recaptures bishop takes rook on f2, keeping the pressure up. And we play king takes bishop on f2, ending the attack. Now we're in a sharp middle game with open lines and chances for both sides. And that's how the Giuoco Piano can look in practice, a slow, strategic start that can explode into tactics. The key is knowing the ideas behind each move, so you're never surprised no matter what your opponent throws at you. Like and subscribe the video for more such content.